Shalom Aleichem, it's Ya'Kov Shepard here from King David's Tomb, KingDavidKabbalah.com. And we are in Parashas Terumah, and we want to get some Kabbalistic inspiration from the Holy Zohar. Within the Zohar of Parashas Terumah, we have a very interesting fundamental article that is called Sifra Detzniuta, towards the end of the parasha. So the Sifra Detzniuta is very, very deep, and it's very hard to put something in brackets and take it out to explain, but we can take an understanding from the introduction of the Sifra Detzniuta. And the introduction is talking about the 5 chapters of the Sifra Detzniuta, and it's telling us that those are rules, general rules. Rabbi Bar Yochai says that the benefit of knowing those rules is someone that is already in a certain level of growth, of understanding of the wisdom of the Kabbalah. And he gives a parable, and that's what I want to focus on today, to understand this parable. The parable is about a person that lived between the mountains, and he didn't come into the city, and he was growing wheat, and he was eating the wheat berries, simple, natural. One day he came to the city, and they gave him bread to eat. He said, "What is this thing?" He told him, "This is bread to eat." He tasted, and he said, "Very nice. What is it made from?" They told him, "Wheat." Then they gave him something else, cake. He tasted the cake. He said, "Wow, what is that?" Told him it's a cake. He said, "What is it made from?" Told him wheat. All kinds of different things with different honey, oil, whatever it is, and everything is made out of wheat. So this person said, I'm growing wheat, so I don't need all of those things because I have what it is made from. Rabbi Bar Yochai is telling us that this is a certain mistake that many people do with the wisdom of the Kabbalah, that they think that they have the rules and it's enough for them. They have the general understanding and it's enough for them, and they don't have the small, fine nuances that is the real taste, the real pleasure of the wisdom of the Kabbalah. And this is something I want to explain a little bit. People that are into the Kabbalistic meditations, many times it's very hard for them to get that understanding that is needed for the Kabbalah of the Rashash. Why? Because the Rashash is very, very much into the details of the Kabbalah. And it is very complex, so many details. So many people, they say, it's not for me, the Kabbalah of the Rashash, and they turn to the Kabbalah of the Ramchal or Hasidut, which is also very good. I have nothing against the Kabbalah of the Ramchal and the Hasidut. I learn it as well. I teach it as well. But there is a great benefit of doing the effort to understand the small details within the wisdom of the Kabbalah. And that's the message for me of this introduction of the Sifra Detzniuta. That when you have the details, so then you can benefit from the rules. Someone that have only the rules and he doesn't have the details, he doesn't really get the pleasure of the wisdom. And obviously it's not that we're here to get pleasure of the wisdom of the Kabbalah. We want to get the message of what Hashem wants to tell us, how we should progress and grow within our service to Hashem through the wisdom of the Kabbalah. So there is a need to put time and effort to understand the nuances and the details. And that's the deep learning. That's what every person that is really interested in the Kabbalah have to at least put in his mind that as a goal, as a purpose, to get to serious learning, to get to learn and understand not only the general rules, but also all nuances. And this is the book specifically of the Etz Chaim, according to my tradition that I got from the Kabbalistic Yeshiva of Betel in the Old City. The fundamental book that is giving us those details is the Etz Chaim of the Arizal with the commentary of the Rashash. And someone that is learning the Etz Chaim from beginning to end, which is, by the way, a big task. It takes a few years. But someone that is learning the Etz Chaim with the commentary of the Rashash properly, then he have those details, those nuances of the Kabbalah. And then after he has that, he can have the pleasure of the learning of the Zohar, the rules of the Kabbalah, and the application of the meditation that comes with it. That will be the real meaningful meditation that is the tradition that Baruch Hashem I have and I'm trying to give over to my students. So with the help of Hashem, I hope and I want to tell you with great excitement that we are working these days on building a learning program for people that wants to get more serious and to get more involved in the Kabbalah, in the details of the learning of the Kabbalah of the Arizal specifically, and to have a taste of the Kabbalah of the Rashash with some Kabbalistic meditations, application of the Sherei Kedusha, for example, and other great Mekubalim. So, Mezrat Hashem, we're working on that, we're building that, and I'm very excited about it. I hope that you are excited to hear about it. And with the help of Hashem, we will tell you more about it next week, following week, Mezrat Hashem. And before I finish, I want to add another small thing, that it is beginning of Chodesh Adar. We know that מי שנכנס אדר מרבים בשמחה. And obviously it's true, there's a lot of joy within the month of Adar. But we have to remember that to get to that joy, to get to the switch, the transformation, from the great sorrow and problem that occurred to Am Yisrael in the generation, what turned it to joy was in the power of their prayer to Hashem. It was so deep and strong and sincere. So it is time for joy, but it is also time to pray and to strengthen our sincerity and depth of our prayer, that it will really come from the depths of our heart. So, Zod Hashem, I bless you, me, everybody, Zod Hashem, to get to the deepest point of our heart and to be able to bring our prayer from there, and that it will get to the highest levels and arouse the mercy of Hashem to come to this world and to clear all of the negativity of this world, B'ezrat Hashem, that we will all experience the goodness of Hashem. Bracha v'atzlacha, big blessings. Thank you very much for listening. Please share with your friends, family, everybody. כל טוב.